Welcome back to Community Interviews. It's been a while since the last episode, but I'm very grateful today to celebrate the affiliate anniversary of my friend Andrew, who is the subject of today's interview. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Stevie. How are you?
Pretty good. We kind of just did this like a little bit ago, but it's fine.
It's all right.
Yeah, we just say, how are you? And we just repeat the exact same thing that we said a little bit ago.
We weren't doing it for a video, so we have to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. For content.
Yeah.
How many years have you been streaming?
I made my Twitch account 10 years ago, but I've only started streaming consistently. Maybe it's been about 7 years since I've been doing it more or less once a week.
Let's start with some of the basic questions, because I know that you have a lot of new viewers now. Where did you get the name State of Crisis? Where does that come from?
Okay, so the State of Crisis username was created in a time where I was at a high school. I was looking into going into the workforce, like full time. I wasn't doing anything else. I wasn't going to school. So the State of Crisis name is like me saying, okay, this is my last shot. I'm going to go on the internet and hit it big. Otherwise, I have to be a wage slave for the rest of my life. I'm in a state of crisis. Very, very dramatic about the whole situation, considering I was actively working, I think, at the time, and I've always held a full-time job since then. I've only done streaming, in my off time, and honestly, I'm pretty grateful for that. I don't want to be a full-time streamer. If you're doing it full-time, you're relying on being funny to pay your bills. I feel like I'm going to do a lot better stuff on the internet. I'm going to be more me. I'm going to be more funny, engaging, and entertaining if I'm not doing it for a job. It just feels more genuine if it's just a side thing I do for funsies.
Do you remember why you started streaming in the first place?
I had originally thought I wanted to do YouTube because I watched a lot of YouTubers at the time. The old school people, like Game Grumps, Markiplier, those kind of people. And I thought I wanted to do something like that because I really enjoyed those videos. But Twitch was kind of on the up and rising around then. And I thought, well, if I did that, I don't have to edit and I can just record for long stretches of time, play games, be natural, and then just make money from it.
Yeah.
I started streaming with the intent of like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be my life. I'm going to make money from this. And that didn't last long. And like I said, I'm grateful for that.
So when do you think that came down? That sense that like, yeah, this isn't going to happen.
As you start most things, you're pretty pumped up and you're excited about it. And then, I don't know, I got into the nitty gritty of Twitch and it's like, you can see all these stats. You want to play the algorithm and you got to learn all these trends. You got to know what's popular at any given day and you got to adapt to that, please people. It seemed like more work than it was worth. If I'm putting in all this time and effort to be somebody I don't like and do stuff I don't like, then what's the point? I gave that up pretty quick and just decided to do my own thing.
So currently, where you're at right now, what would you say are your current creative goals?
As far as creative goals go, I don't have anything specific. For now, where I'm at currently, I am happy just doing stuff that is uniquely me. And me is something that changes over time, and that's still something I'm figuring out as it goes. But I want to do something that I personally find fun, stuff that people enjoy, of course, stuff that isn't, seen elsewhere. I'm not going to be doing weekly reaction streams. I'm not going to be playing every single game as it comes out. You're going to find me doing stuff that I find funny, playing old games. Really what I want to do is just put a unique spin on stuff. Something, make something that you're not going to see from the current big name guys.
So why do you do that?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the answer. Like, I make stuff and I stream because that's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here for a second. I do apologize. But I've been told genuinely over the years, even like last week, I had coworkers be like, Andrew, you're like the funniest person I know. And that's so nice to hear. And it would be a shame if I just limit that to, you know, the people I see on a weekly basis. If I have access to the internet and I could be funny for other people too, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go make a fool of myself and crack jokes so that other people can enjoy it and they don't have to be in the same state as me. God forbid people come to Ohio for me. Yikes.
I mean, why else would they go to Ohio?
Corn
Uh,
and soybeans alternating.
Dude, that sounds great.
It's fine. I don't even eat a lot of corn.
You're not a corn guy?
I did go see Korn in concert this year. That was pretty cool.
You're not a CORN guy?
I mean, I'll eat it. It's not, I don't know, it's not thrilling. I don't know, how do you make corn thrilling?
Tortillas? That's all I got for you, really.
I love tortillas. Although I usually get flour ones, I'm not picky. I can't really, I don't know, what's the difference? Besides what they're made of?
Well, yeah,
I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big taste difference, big texture difference. Yeah, completely different purposes. You don't really see burritos made out of corn tortillas. You do see tacos made out of flour tortillas sometimes, and I don't know how I feel about those.
Yeah, but why not?
What's your Taco Bell order?
I'm so glad we're getting to the good questions already. Okay, let's see. I only order Taco Bell if I get off work at night, and if I have to do grocery shopping, I'll get out of Walmart, you know, anywhere from like 10:45, 11 o'clock. By then, the only places open are Taco Bell. So I'll put in an order and pick up Taco Bell, you know, like 11:30. And it's usually, I'm not a big beef guy. I don't eat beef. So I'll get a chicken quesadilla, a small little spicy potato taco. If I'm not working the next day and I can do some caffeine, I try to limit my caffeine intake after like 8 o'clock. If I'm not working, I'll get a Baja Blast because that's the good shit. And then if they have them, the nacho fries are incredible.
Soda has caffeine? I forget about that.
What do you mean you forget about soda having caffeine?
I don't drink soda. So like right now you were just like, yeah, I try not to have caffeine late. And I'm thinking you're drinking a Baja Blast. That's a soda.
Yeah, it's a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
It's the most caffeinated beverage.
Is it actually?
Among the top name brand soda companies, yeah, Mountain Dew is the most caffeinated.
I had no clue.
Yes. Also, I learned recently that no root beers are caffeinated. It's typically no caffeine, except Barks.
What?
Because, I don't know, it's made by Coke. I think that's the Coke one. So they had to put caffeine in it. I keep forgetting about that. Root beer's my go-to pick, like, you know, trying to limit caffeine. And that one fucking drink has to fuck it up.
I'm glad that we got onto this tangent. So now that we're on this completely unique tangent, I'm going to bring us back.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
Yeah. So besides streaming, what do you like to do?
I have interest in a lot of things, but I don't do a lot of things. On a typical night after work, you'll probably catch me rocking some Fortnite. I play with my buddies and my partner. I mean, I play games in general. I love games. I'm trying to play more games. I'm not a fan of the whole the battle pass FOMO mechanics that a lot of games are doing. They try to get you locked in so that you're not playing anything else. I'm trying to go and play other things. So I'm trying to be on my PC more, play games there, because there's a lot of good stuff I'm missing out on. I like to write stuff. I have an interest in making music. Hasn't gone too far, but I still have an interest. It's still something I want to do. That's the big stuff. I like music and games.
So you mentioned writing right now. Do you have any history of stuff that you've written?
It's been a long time since I've made anything actually, like, what's the word I want to use? good is the word that comes to mind, but I don't think that's fair to say. I think that's a little mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The height of me writing probably was straight out of high school. I like to bring up the fact that technically I'm a published author because I have a poem and a little anthology written. Looking back, I don't want to admit it, but I do believe that was just, a scam to get money out of kids. If I'm being honest, people, oh, your poem's in a book, but you still got to buy the book. So I go to mom and I'm like, Mom, my poem is published. It's in a book. They want to publish this. You got to give me money for it. But still, technically, I am a published author.
Do you have the book?
You know what? If you want to give me just a second, I think I have it on my bookshelf here by the desk.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on. It'd be funny if I could find this.
Yeah, if not, no worries.
I found it.
You have it. Oh my god.
I do. Let me find. Okay, here we are. Page. God, this is so dramatic. I wrote this as a senior in high school. This was in 2014. God, this sucks. This is so dramatic. Why was I like this?
You were like 17 or 18. It doesn't count.
I know. This is something I think about a lot. I wrote on my website about this, where like, if you look back and you're cringing at stuff that you created, that literally just means that you're a better person now. Like, if you're looking back at dumb shit you've said and dumb decisions you've made, it just means that you've grown as a person and you know that that's dumb. And you're not going to do that. You learn from shit as you go and you become a better person over time. With that being said... fuck. It's called Blue Soul. I live in my world of fire, no cold, just heat. I'm a man of passion and desire when you and I meet. Opposites attract, I know this to be true. I'm a creature of burning fire while you're cold through and through. My flames get the best of me and I burn those who care. I don't intend to harm, I know it isn't fair. You're as cold as ice, down to the very core. Blue soul, yet I always want more. It does not matter what the others say. I swear we'll find a way. Someday. Edit the applause in. Thank you, thank you.
And then, listeners' context, I sent Andrew a GIF of the guy writing and it's fire.
I did not see that. Okay, I see that now. Damn, dude was cooking.
Listen, we could clown on this, but I think you had something going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cute looking back because, like, I had a very long distance girlfriend at the time who lived across an ocean. And, I told her, I was like, oh, I'm a published author. Look, I have a poem in a book. And she's like, why are you saying I'm cold? I'm like, bitch, it's not about you. It's art. I'm just writing shit. Like, I found words that rhyme and I just created something out of them. Not everything is about you. Shut up. I think that bears some truth, though, because I am fire.
That is true.
I do be burning with passion and desire.
That is true.
This is true.
So if you were to pursue writing, what would you want to write about?
What would I want to write about? I don't think I have the patience and the overall, like attentiveness to write like a book series. I don't think I could stay focused enough to put a huge thing out like that. Like, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of time and patience and focus. For me, it'd probably be like short stories. I've dabbled in I did fan fiction at one time. I don't know if I've talked to you about this.
I don't think so. This is new to me.
I'm unsure. I had a Tumblr blog back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like many people did, and I used it for writing fan fiction of specifically Smash Brothers characters interacting with each other. So I would create just these little Stories of like, oh, this person and this person, they're gay and they like each other. Nothing like overtly sexual. Like I wasn't writing porn, but just cute, angsty kind of stuff. Like, oh, she's so beautiful. Oh man, what do I do? Ah, I don't know if I could do fan fiction nowadays. That's a whole different thing now. I just want to do like short stories. Just have an idea for it. Just a one shot, basically. I did a little one on my website. I use my website just for rambling. I just type stuff because the internet is a hellscape and I hate most of it. So I just make my own little corner and I put stuff there. If people are interested in it, cool. If not, hey, that's cool. Whatever. Like I said before, I do stuff for me, and I think that's the way you get the best stuff. If you do something that you are interested in and you think is funny, you think is cool, do it. That's going to be the best stuff.
As always, links to what we are discussing will be in the description below. Please check out stateofcrisis.net.
Or don't, whatever you want.
Or don't. Yeah, you don't have to. Nobody has to do anything, really.
Nobody has to do anything. I do like saying that, especially at work, where somebody's like, oh, well, I have to do this. I have to do that. And I'm like, no, I mean, you don't. Like, realistically, the worst that could happen to you is maybe you'll die. But like, I don't know. You don't have to do shit. Do whatever you want.
That's a quote from somebody, isn't it? Like, if it's not fun, why bother? Didn't like Reggie say that?
Absolutely. The quote I can think of is by Bob Ross, who I believe just said, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? I stick by that shit. That's real. You're only here for a certain amount of time. Have fun. Whatever. If it's not fun and you can not do it, fuck it. Don't do it. Do what you think is fun, but also eating and taking care of yourself is fun, so you should.
I agree. Right now, you also discussed music. And I know that you have a relatively limited experience with making music, but again, I want to ask a similar question being, what would you want to do musically? What appeals to you?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff I would want to do. I think the main thing I want to do is like lo-fi hip hop rap tracks. Stuff that samples really old, like 20s, 30s vocals, putting some kind of orchestral instrumental over top of it, you know, getting that grainy lo-fi feel, doing some rap lyrics over it. Nothing super hardcore, just like I've been listening to like a lot of Rav recently. I really like his stuff. That's kind of like stuff I want to do. Or like Hi, I'm Chris, who streams on Twitch now. He'll do like music production streams that I really, really enjoy. I like his stuff, and that's just the kind of stuff I want to do. Like feel good kind of stuff, some cozy stuff that makes you feel warm and nostalgic.
So you like music so much that for a while you had essentially a weekly music show, VG Radio.
That was a phenomenal segue. You're good at this.
Thank you.
Yes, I did. I did indeed have a weekly radio show on Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. EST called VG Radio.
Why'd you start doing VG Radio?
I'm going to give you a simple answer and then a more elaborate and detailed answer.
Please do.
The simple answer is because I thought it would be cool.
Fun. Cool. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm going to say it a million times. Do stuff you think is cool. Other people will think it's cool. Don't feed into the algorithms and the, you know, what's popular, what people like the most. Just do shit that you like and you'll find your crowd. Anyways. Yeah, so VG Radio, again, this might be news, but I was very close to interning at a radio station when I was in high school. It's something I had interest in because, you know, I liked music back then and I wanted to kind of, it'd be like a toe in the door of the industry, kind of figure out how things work, maybe talk with people who know more than me, get some info. Ultimately, it didn't go through because I was doing internship while I was at one school, and halfway during the year, I moved to another school and they weren't doing that. So I didn't get that opportunity. But, you know, fast forward nearly 10 years later, and I was at work. I was listening to music, just doing my monotonous moving boxes job. And I thought, what if I'm sad that I missed out on that opportunity? That sucks. I wish I could have done that. But also, I'm a grown ass man with access to the internet. Why don't I just, I don't know, do something similar, do something that I would have liked to do at that age? And what I thought of on that spot was just my own little radio show. Of course, playing music on Twitch is a very dangerous game that you don't always win. It's fool's gambling. So, I can't stream pop music. I can't stream the rock music of today that people would want to hear. What do? Why don't I just share video game music that I've known and loved, and maybe other people will like it too. So on a random Tuesday night, I made a post on Twitter, or X, the everything app. It was Twitter at that point, of course. I wrote a post like, hey, what if I did a radio show tomorrow morning? Haha, what if? And then I did it. And I curated a playlist of original video game songs and video game song covers. Lasted about an hour. And through a couple snags, because I think you were there at the very, very beginning.
Yes.
And either the music was muted the whole time or I was muted the whole time. I think I was muted because back then I was working on one single screen. I didn't have the multi-monitor setup I have now, so I was using everything on one screen. And I had muted my mic in OBS and I didn't know. So I was introducing the show and doing segments in between the songs that just ended up being dead air.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember you specifically came in and you were like, where's my streamer? And so I go back because I have chat up, but I don't have OBS up. I don't need that up all the time. So I went to OBS, saw that I was muted, ended stream, and then started up again like nothing had ever happened.
Oh.
I just ran it back and started the show over again.
Huh.
This is really funny. Honestly, thank you for being there, because if you didn't say something, that whole show would have been shit, and then I probably would have been so mad I might not have just ever done it again.
Well, I'm glad I said something, because VG Radio has been like probably one of my favorite things that you've done so far.
It was one of my favorite things as well. Yes, I really like doing it. I would play an hour of video game tunes to have people send in their suggestions. So every show would have a segment of like 2 or 3 songs that people had inputted and they wanted to share. So I shared it with everybody. I did that every week. I had a few specials, like I had a summer themed one. I had, I think, a 3-hour-long one that I did once that was purely orchestral symphonic music. And I had some other themes lined up as well. I still want to bring it back at one point. And I think if I bring it back, I'll probably have to do more themed episodes. I think that's the way to go. Because at one point, I didn't know what to do with it. I felt like I was doing the same thing. And I wasn't sure if people were digging it or not.
Is that why you stopped doing it?
That's, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not sure. Well, I took a few weeks off to help my partner, who was recovering from surgery. So I stopped doing it for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. That's when you did your VG Radio episode, which I still listen back because that is a fantastic episode. We were both listening to a lot of Night Vale at the time, and I think that kind of sees through a little bit.
Yeah.
You had some comedic writing in there that I really enjoyed. I still go back and listen to that. It's very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But I don't know, after my hiatus, I did it every week for, I think, roughly 9 months. And then I came back and the views just dropped off. It wasn't getting the views it was getting prior. And I was just kind of disheartened about it. And I felt like I was putting in too much effort trying to make a good set list for the stream, and that not enough people were coming in and enjoying it. So I just kind of stopped doing it.
Did it stop being fun?
You know what? I think maybe that's it. I was having fun creating the set list, doing little bits, little news segments. And then, I don't know, I wasn't, I think the fun part was just creating and sharing. And if there was no one to share it to or to share it with at the time, then yeah, I was kind of disheartened. Just kind of soft dropped it. Never announced a cancellation or anything. There's still pings in my Discord server to get notified. Nobody's been notified for quite a while. But yeah, eventually I want to bring it back. I've said before that you'll know when it's officially over because I already planned out the last song I ever want to play on it. And it's like a slowed down, really chilled lo-fi version of the original first song I played. When you hear the really, really slow Gar planes from Xenoblade Chronicles, that's when you know it's over.
So VG Radio is currently on hiatus. On a similar note, whenever you have other ideas or concepts that you put away for a bit, that you scrap, that you say you'll come back to, or that you'll revisit at some later time, how do you feel about those? Because I know that you've talked to me about other ideas that you've had, and they sound like really, really great ideas, and they just never see the light of day. And I'm like, where are they? It sounds so great.
Oh yeah, name one.
Well, I don't even want to name this one because I feel like it's finally on its way. The State of Crisis quiz show.
Oh, was that? Wait, when did I don't even remember bringing that up. When did I do that?
That was years ago. Back when New Horizons was like a hot thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I have interest in doing some kind of quiz show. By the time this has aired and by the time YouTube and or Twitch is hearing this, I will have done a State of Crisis themed Jeopardy live on Twitch. And I'm going to say preemptively, even though this is playing afterwards, I'm going to say that it was great and everybody loved it. What was the question?
I feel like you and I are kind of the same in this sense where we have a lot of very interesting ideas that we want to come back to or that we want to visit, but that we don't have time to or that we don't for whatever reason. So I want to see just how you feel about that topic in general.
About shelving things?
Yeah, ideas. Yeah, I guess ideas that fundamentally stay ideas and are never acted upon.
I don't know. It's I feel like it's a bittersweet kind of thing because like you haven't done them for any number of reasons, like, oh, it's too hard to set up and I don't have the time right now, or, you know, I need resources that aren't available to me in this moment. You know, you put it on the shelf, you say, I'm going to do this later. And that sucks. That's sad. That's disappointing. But at the same time, they're on the shelf. They're there. You have that idea. You like that idea. And whatever time passes, if you're still thinking about it, it's still a good idea. If there's something you've put off and you're still thinking about it a year out, I think it's worth dropping what you're doing and figuring that shit out. If you can make that work, go make that work, because odds are that's going to be fantastic. If you're still thinking about it this late, that's going to be good. You should go make that.
Do you happen to have any of those right now? Just floating around somewhere?
I should start writing this shit down. I got a lot. And apparently, I forget about some of them. What's a good thing I have right now? If I come up with some kind of idea and I'm like, oh, I could do that like tomorrow, like I'm just going to do it. Obviously, that's not everything. I like the idea of playing a host. I did my VG radio. I still want to go back to it. I have to put some kind of new spin on it. I have to change it up in some way, shape, or form before I bring it back. But I still want to do that because I'm like, here's something I made. I'm presenting something to you. Here's this. I'm playing host. I'm doing little bits. I'm introducing things. And that's why I like the idea of doing like some kind of game show too. I really love game shows. That's the only TV I will sit down and like actually watch are game shows. I fucking love game shows.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, God. The stuff that's real easy to play along with. Like if you're sitting on the couch, I love like Wheel of Fortune. I think Family Feud is probably the favorite. Jeopardy's my favorite. 100%. I love Jeopardy. It's just trivia. I like that.
I never took you for a quiz show guy. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about like Jeopardy or any of these shows ever.
It's because people don't want to hear me talk about, oh, I got a Jeopardy answer right. Nobody gives a shit.
I mean, I
I
don't
think it's
know.
fun. I don't know. I don't nobody gives a shit. He's like, oh, good job, Andrew. Like, it's gonna be cool if I'm on the show and I get it right. Then I'll be like, hey, that's me. Look at me.
Do you think you could win?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Hell no, dude. When they bring out questions like geography and like where stuff is on the globe, dude, I have no idea. There are categories I'm good at, like the punny kind of like wordplay stuff. I love those categories because I mean, it's really just a joke. You're deciphering the joke, and I think that's cool and I think it's funny. But yeah, they'll have categories like this city was created in this year and rivals this city, which is the capital of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, not a single clue. So no, I'd get smoked, but it would be a fun time.
So you've done VG radio, you've done a lot of other things. What's your favorite thing that you've done or that you've been a part of? Because I know that you also reach out and work with other streamers and content creators from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love working with other people, and I need to start talking to other people and like kind of expanding out. I love doing collaborations with people. It's an improv exercise. You know, I get to bounce off of somebody I maybe don't talk to every day. I get to improvise and work with other people, especially if the other person is streaming. I have the option to just not stream and show up, and that relieves so much pressure. I just come in, be funny, play a game, and leave. Love that. Need more of that. Hey, if you want me on your stream, you like my voice, you think I'm cool and funny, hit me up. But some of the stuff I really like that I did. Obviously, VG Radio is dope, and I think that was cool. And I still want to do that. All the joke streams. The stuff where I'm sitting at work and I think, oh, that'll be funny. And then like I'll just go set it up and like do the same day or like next day. Those are always my favorite. One time I was working for on April Fool's Day, and I wasn't going to stream because I didn't have any ideas. Because I always try to do something for April Fool's Day. And I thought, what if I just go anti-joke with it? I don't make a joke like at all. What if I just go home and read? So I left work early. I told my supervisor, hey, I'm going home. I left at lunchtime. I went home, I booted up stream, and I read a book out loud for like 3 or 4 hours. That's so stupid, and that is one of my favorite streams.
That was Super Mega Saves the Troops, right?
That's correct. Yes, I called it Fine Literature Night. And God bless America. What a fine piece of literature that was.
I know that it was an April Fool's joke, but I truly believed and partially hoped that you would continue doing it.
Well, like I just continue the book every April 1st?
Yeah. Or just like next week, more reading.
Heads up, guys. You're not going to believe this. Is going to be really exciting. Book.
I don't know, man. I'm dumb. I think that's just cool.
No. And that's awesome. That's what I want to do. Shit that's like, that's funny. Not even necessarily good. I don't think about like, oh, this is going to take a lot of time and effort and all these intricate parts are working together. I'm just like, that's funny. I've done laundry on stream. Boring, mundane shit that people aren't going to stream. Yeah, I'll do that. That's funny. And then people come in and we have interesting conversation. And then I get a chore done and then I leave. Like, come on, that's a win-win for everybody. Yeah, like the funny stuff I like. I think the funniest thing I've done, and therefore one of my favorite streams, was Mario Kart with all 4 of my limbs. Jordan, my partner, originally brought that idea up to me by putting a leg strap from Ring Fit Adventure on the actual Ring Fit ring and was like, look, 2 controllers. I was like, oh, okay, that's something. So I think the next day I was like, hey, new DLC dropped. I'm playing through it, playing as 2 people. And then the next wave dropped and I was like, well, shit, I have an opportunity here. So I rigged it up with 3 Joy-Con and I toured, the 8 new tracks with my 3 characters. And then there was more waves. And I stopped doing it because I was like, well, if I go too fast, I'm not going to know how to escalate it. If I hit 4 and then there's 2 more waves after that, what do? I can't escalate. I can't do anything. So I stopped doing it. And then when the last wave dropped, all right, we're doing this. Instead of using the wheel, I'm strapping a Joy-Con to each of my wrists and to each of my ankles. And I'm going to film myself lying on the floor, wailing my limbs around like a baby. And that was that is the one stream. I think that might be my favorite because that's the one stream I look back at like, I wish I could be watching that instead of having to do it and perform it. I wish I could watch that because that's stupid as fuck. That's awesome. It's very overwhelming because I feel like as the streamer and also as a viewer, very overwhelming. I actually had an individual come in and go, "Hi, what's up?" And then I think leave promptly, like, I'm overstimulated.
Oh my God.
And then like they left. I'm like, I get it. Absolutely, 100%. This is hard to watch. And that's hilarious.
Maybe we'll get another wave one day.
You know, I hope so. Mario Kart's good. I like Mario Kart. More, please.
Would you do it for Mario Kart 9 if they ever do it?
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll bust it out. I'll do it again. I'll make it a little better. I'll figure something out. Boy, that was a workout. Let me tell you, I can't do a whole game like that because doing those 8 tracks, that was so much. My legs hurt so bad. I get on the Discord. I'm like, guys, my body hurts today. Why does it hurt? Yeah, because you're wiggling your fucking arms around for 2 hours. Oh, right. Yeah.
Did you ever stream Ring Fit Adventure?
No.
Okay.
That was just for me. Maybe I should stream it. I can tell you probably the one single reason why I haven't streamed Ring Fit Adventure. It's because I'm embarrassed. It's because I'm a big person and my apartment is very shoddily built. Every fucking move I make in jumping jack I take shakes the fucking camera around and I feel like way too self-conscious to stream it. That's the only reason, dude. If I had a stabilizer and that shit wouldn't wobble around, yeah, I'd stream Ring Fit. That's the only reason.
It would make for pretty good content.
Mm-hmm. As we all know, I'm a sucker for content.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because you hate the idea of content.
I do.
We live in a time where, like, everything has to be content. So has streaming, Twitch, the internet, whatever, affected your output or your perception on what you're doing? Because I feel like it's very easy to just feel like you're just another content farm in the content machine.
Yeah, I said earlier, I started streaming very much with the mindset like, okay, this is going to be my job. This is what I'm going to do for a living. So I don't have to do real work. I'm going to be internet funny man. I'm going to pay my bills. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make content. And just the idea of it is just, it's turning something that should be fun and creative and silly into something that is corporate, something that is made to consume. There's no soul in it. It's there to make money. It's there to get in views. It's playing to the algorithm for maximum profit. And I hate the idea because, yeah, it's supposed to be fun. And instead of having fun, should be a funny idea. I could combine this with this and it'll be funny and it'll be cool and people will like it. Instead of that creative build up to a stream or a YouTube video, the buildup is 3 different ultra wide monitors of graphs and analytics and top games and what's selling the most, what people are watching, what things at what time. And I don't know, comparing the two, like you can have a sit down with a friend and laugh and shit and giggle and think about what would be funny. Or instead you could just be a fucking like stock trader. Why would you choose that and not just be funny?
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way. You really are just performing market analysis, but for content.
Yeah. I don't use the word content. Content is, like I said, takes the soul out of it. Content is just doing things for money. And that's not what I do. I don't think I've done a single thing with the intent of making money. It's to be funny. If people want to give me money for being funny, hell yeah, that's awesome. Any cent you want to give me is fucking rad and I appreciate it. I never want to get to a point where I'm so popular and I'm so big that people are donating 50 subs at a time and I'm like, oh, cool, dude, thanks. Anyways, like,
Right, yeah.
I want to appreciate every little thing. And I'm at such a good place right now that I can do that. I've got a small community, but the community is so good. I love the people that show up. I love the people that chat. You can give me money or not. I don't care. I love what I have. Like, yeah, I could make content. I could study graphs and I could make the ideal thumbnail for the ideal video, pinpoint, like I could, but I feel like it's selling your soul to the devil or some shit. The devil being YouTube, the internet. I don't know. It feels icky. I don't like it.
I guess while we're on this note, what are the challenges that you faced regarding your interests? And do you have any fears or concerns about what you want to do or if you're going to do anything going forward?
I think a lot about one of my biggest things is just self-doubt, where I think it would be cool to do something, whatever that may be. But ultimately, I'm worried about like wasting time. We're only put on this earth for a certain amount of time. Nobody knows how long that's going to be. That could be, you could make your exit tomorrow. You could make your exit 70 years from now. No one knows. No one's ever gonna know. And I'm worried that putting time into something and then having it ultimately, for whatever reason, not pan out in the way I want it to be, then I feel like I've wasted time. Maybe that's thinking too broad, because I don't know, if I try to make a song and I spend 2 weeks on it and ultimately it's like, it's shit, whatever, I give up. Yeah, I kind of lost the free time over 2 weeks, but I mean, I could be here for like 60 more years. Like, what's a few hours and compared to the rest of your goddamn life? That's something I'm trying to get over, because that's absolutely one of the biggest challenges I face. Is just, I mean, one way or another, the challenge is me. It's overcoming self-doubt, it's overcoming worries, overcoming my own, like, how I can't focus on one thing. Like, I can't learn a skill because I don't want to pay attention for an hour, It's just me. You are your greatest ally, but sometimes you can also be your greatest enemy.
I don't mean this insultingly, but did you pick that up from like a fortune cookie?
Not at all. No, I'm literally just speaking out my ass right now.
That's pretty good.
100%. That is just straight off the dome.
Yeah, no, dude, that's good. I feel you. I do just want to like add on though. If you work on, say, like a song for 2 weeks and you have nothing to show for it, right? That's still 2 weeks worth of progress and learning that you did, even if you have nothing to show for it. You now have that experience under your belt that you can use to apply on something else going forward. It's not lost. It's there with you.
A very good point, actually. That's very good. Yeah, no, you're right. If you are someone who's starting out and you're interested in music and you're just starting out, you don't quite know how it works yet, your 2 weeks on something is going to look so incredibly different than if Billie Eilish were to work on something for 2 weeks. She knows what she's doing. She knows what's going on. She has experience in this. It's going to look vastly different than anything you can produce. And that's okay. You're right. That's still 2 weeks of progress. And this is something I'm trying to teach myself. It takes time. 2 weeks is 2 weeks. That's good. That's progress. The best thing is that you're getting off your ass and doing something. Your practice went from 0 to 14 days. That's huge. That's awesome.
That reminds me, you did art for like a little bit. You were doing some painting.
Yeah. I was super, super into Bob Ross. I still like him. I still enjoy him. I don't watch the show as much as I used to. I worked a retail job where I was in electronics, and without asking any supervisors or anything, I downloaded a bunch of Bob Ross full episodes from YouTube, put them on a flash drive, and then on a display TV behind the counter at my job, I started playing these Bob Ross episodes on a loop like all day. And people loved it. I had no complaints ever. And people were like, oh, this is a great idea. This is awesome. Oh, man, I love that guy. Super cool. And genuinely, I think it brought more people into the department to look around more. But yeah, I really like Bob Ross. And when I left that job, I used my good boy points. They give you little points for doing a good job, and you can spend them on stuff online. And I just got the Bob Ross full set. It's like a suitcase of paints and the easel, all the tools you need, a canvas to start out with, some paint thinner, all just like everything you need. And I took that and I did a paint along. He had like an hour-long episode where we just go step by step and just show you how to do what he did. And I did. I did not stream it. It was not for content. It was just something I wanted to do. And so I made my first ever like Bob Ross styled painting. It's hanging up in my bedroom and it's dope. I've had a lot of people be like, wow, you did that? What? That was your first try? Like, it's good. I know I could improve. There's some stuff I fucked up on it. Like, I don't get how he does the trees yet. I have to figure out the trees. The mountain I did was fucking awesome. And I feel like that's the focal point. The mountain was fucking dope. But yeah, no, so I made a Bob Ross. And before you ask, because I assume you're going to say something like, well, why'd you stop? Where's the next one?
Why would I do that?
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. So I made that, and it's cool, and it's hanging up in the bedroom.
I'm kidding, by the way. Yes, that is where I would go.
I know. I wanted you to. I wanted. It's cool and funny. Yeah. So I did the painting at my mom's house because she's got a big old garage, and I don't feel like I have really good space to do something like that big and messy in my home right now. So I did it at my mom's house, and I stored the paints there. And they're sitting in the basement for storage. And then the basement flooded and ruined all of the paints and everything. So if I were to get back in, I'm going to have to spend a lot of money getting those back. That's the only reason I haven't done it. I still want to. I want to go back and do that again because I had a lot of fun and I feel like I could improve. But it is expensive.
Sounds like it's a fun hobby, but dude, that must have been devastating.
Yeah, I'm still not over it. It was very upsetting. I felt mad because I'm like, this is your fault. You should be paying me for these. It's not her fault. Nobody's gonna fucking... Oh, damn. I knew the basement was gonna flood and I left your stuff down there. Like, you know, you don't fucking know that that's gonna happen. And it's, you know, not anyone's fault ultimately. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough day. I was very sad.
No, dude, I would be too. Do you remember how much they cost?
Oh, yeah. Did I not say that there was a $200 set?
$200 set? I mean, you said it had everything.
$200. And I think the only thing I have left from that, because I forgot to bring it over, is a container of paint thinner in my closet. That's the only thing that survived.
The paint got thin, all right.
Shut the fuck up. No, that was really funny. I don't mean that.
Yeah, it's all good. We've been friends for a while now, and I'm glad that we're at this level where we can just like comfortably, banter with one another. But it is worth pointing out just for the sake of the interview, because I know that a lot of people aren't familiar with what you've done, how you are. People aren't familiar with me and how I am, so it's good to disclose.
Yes, yeah, no, we're chill. We are very, very chill. We didn't used to be chill at the very, very beginning.
It was one-sided, but yeah, I hated you. I did not like you at all.
Do we want to recount that for any new people not familiar with us?
Do you want to do it? I feel like you should give your perspective on it first.
Okay. I was streaming on Twitch. My good friend was over sitting on the couch next to me. We were streaming Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just casual, no goals, no overarching giant things. Just playing a game, having a conversation, doing a little let's play action. Tracy, our good friend, was a chatter of mine who had come in on earlier Breath of the Wild streams, and they also watch you. So while you were ending up a stream, they suggested a raid to me. So while I was streaming, I got raided by StarrySandWitch, and I saw Tracy's name come up, this Tracy's username. So I was like, oh man, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate that you're coming in. Hello, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And from my view, that was it. some friends came and I kept playing games, and that was all, and I had a lovely time.
Okay.
So what happened to you, buddy?
So, from what I remember happening was I was winding down on one of my. It was a really, really fun stream. Chat was really active. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember that it was a lot of fun. And we get a raid suggestion. So I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, chat's really active. Let's go ahead and raid the State of Crisis guy. We raid State of Crisis. This is the only time this has ever happened where my chat completely and enthusiastically participates in a raid message. This is the first and last time it ever happened where everybody's like actively excited and cheering. First of all, I feel like it takes several minutes for you to even notice the raid in the first place. Maybe it was like 20 seconds, but to me it felt like an eternity. So my chat is getting actively ignored despite the fact that it's the very first time I've seen them this enthusiastic during a raid. And eventually the streamer notices us and notices Tracy, who at the time had a different username. And Tracy said something along the lines of, "Oh, look, I brought you a raid." And you said, "Thank you, Tracy," obviously using different words, but you were very thankful to Tracy. And I was fuming because that wasn't Tracy, that was me. I'm being ignored. You're not paying any attention to me. And I figured eventually Tracy would say, "Oh, haha, that's funny. It wasn't really me, though, that raided you. It was Stevie." And I was waiting there for a couple minutes, waiting for all that to clear up, and it never happened. So what I did was I wrote your name on a sticky note. I put it on my monitor with the note that said to never raid or interact with this person ever again, and then I closed your stream. I was pissed. I was very, very, very upset.
I love the fact that I lived rent free in your head. I took up a fucking lease there. I was living there. I was on your monitor because you didn't like me so much. You're like, fuck this guy, hate him, never doing that again, and I'm never gonna forget either. I'm gonna write this down so I never forget what this man has done to me. And now I'm on your interview show.
Yeah, it didn't work because I ended up losing that sticky note at some point, and then we ended up interacting like several months later, I think.
You lost the sticky note, you forgot. Yep. I never forget, and I have infiltrated your community, and now I'm here. You're giving me a platform. That's the ultimate revenge con. Stevie, you're the first person to ever raid me. I didn't know what the fuck a raid was. That was my defense. I didn't know what that meant. I probably didn't have any alerts set up either. I probably didn't even hear or see it at all. It was probably a very, very dead stream since I assume not many people were there. And also I wasn't focused on chat because my friend was sitting on the couch next to me.
Yeah. For the record, you did absolutely nothing wrong. I was just being a little hater.
And that's okay. I probably would have done the same thing. Well, I mean, I don't know about the sticky note, but I would have gotten upset too. But yeah, I had no idea.
It's worth noting, though, we were supposed to interact maybe a few weeks after that happened. I'm not sure if you remember this.
The Hollow Knight speedrun.
That's right. Yeah, the Path of Pain race. Yep.
Yes, I was invited to that with you, Tracy, and I think Booba?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and I was gonna, and I chickened out at the very end. I think ultimately it was a work schedule issue, if I remember correctly. But I also did just opt out because I had not gotten to that point in the game. I could get to that point, but it would be a blind speedrun, and I know for a fact that I was not going to beat any of you guys. I guess ultimately it took a few years, but that group did come back together for Garfield Kart.
That's right. That is exactly right. Mm-hmm.
So now that I think about it, I'm glad that happened.
Me too. That was fun.
We had something there. We still got to collaborate in that group, so that's very good.
Yeah. But I was a very big hater of you for maybe like a week, honestly. I don't remember when I lost a sticky note or whatever. Because I think by the time that Tracy mentioned inviting their friend, I don't think they ever mentioned you by name. They just referred to you as their friend. I'm pretty sure I'd forgotten all about you by that point, to be honest.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so I don't think it would have mattered, really. But I do remember that sometime later, Tracy gave me another raid target, the State of Crisis guy, and I was just like, yeah, sure, why not? And I think that stream, you were either playing Hollow Knight You were hammered at that point. All I remember from that stream is you were playing
Oh.
Spider-Man and you were just walking around New York.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's another one of my streams where I just like, this is boring and monotonous, but I think it would be funny in like a hype fueled stream environment. You know, I was big into Spider-Man on PS4 at the time, so it's a superhero game, and you're slinging webs and you're flying through the air and doing tricks and stuff. And I was like, what if I just walked? What if I just took a walk around the entire perimeter of New York? And that was the entire stream. I was drinking and walking.
Yep.
And then Stevie showed up.
Yep.
And then best buddies.
Yeah. I forget. Do you remember when we like hung out for the first time?
I think probably would have been somewhere in the Among Us days, right? Because that's where I not only met a lot of streamers, but like I first interacted with a lot of streamers when everybody was doing Among Us.
Yeah, no, I don't remember, because I know that we played Among Us with Das Vidania, Beta, and a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember if we were homies back then. Well, no, so that was after Labo, and by then I think we were kind of starting to talk. Maybe
I was a regular at that point, at least.
Yeah, I think that's around the time when Jordan started showing up.
And then everything went downhill and crazy.
Yeah. Just on that note,
Jordan, if you're listening to this, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
The stream where you appeared might be on like a different hard drive that has every single stream.
Do you store all your streams?
I do. I don't know why I do it, to be honest.
It's I mean, one, for like, you know, it's good to have the footage if you want to use film from it and you're making a YouTube video or content, you know.
Right.
But also, like, I like going back and watching some streams, especially like the collaboration streams. If I have friends on, I love going back and just putting those on the TV, like while I'm working or like doing stuff in the house. It's like you have memories of hanging out with friends at like a party or something. But when it's recorded, I mean, you can just relive those word by word, frame by frame. And it's so nostalgic. It's so nice. It's a very perfect time capsule. I still watch our like 3D World stuff occasionally. Those were very good streams.
Could I get real just for like a very quick second? Those
Absolutely.
streams, those mean a lot to me, because that's when my dad died.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to have something fun to look forward to and just distract me from what was going on.
Yeah, that's good.
Those were really funny too, man. Those were great. I love those.
Those were so good. They're so funny. We bounced off each other very well. You know, we worked together. We killed each other a lot.
Yeah, that was good. We've been friends for a while, and I'm glad. I'm very, very glad that that we ended up meeting, and that I have a very bad memory.
Yes, yeah, thank God. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. That'd be so funny if you still had the sticky note like 3 years later, 4 years later, however long it was.
Yeah.
Put that in a museum. It's a shame you've moved so many times, because that sticky note is absolutely in the trash somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's rotting in a landfill, where it should be.
Yeah.
That sticky note is full of ire and hatred.
Yes, and we are better people now, and we would never do that.
Yeah.
Right, Stevie?
I would hope. I don't know.
All right. I am just... who knows, maybe. Depends on the day.
We also have little skits that you've done with some of your friends in the past. I think it's cute that you participate in your friends' activities and, you know, it's reciprocated. I've invited you to do stuff with me in the past.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And whenever I ask, I'm just like, is this something that Andrew would want to do? I don't want Andrew to feel like uncomfortable or be like, oh, this is stupid, but I don't want to say no.
Oh, dude, if friends come up to me with anything, I am so beyond happy to like be involved in any way, shape, or form. It makes me so happy that somebody was just that somebody's thinking of me, you know, like I'm making this thing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, I wonder if Andrew would want to do this. Like, I love that. That makes me feel good. Whatever the fuck you want. If you thought about me, if you think I'm a good fit for it, I'm going to do it. That just makes me happy. I like that.
How do you feel about AI?
Oh, fuck AI. That shit's garbage. I love the concept of artificial intelligence shortening tasks and making things more simplified. that's great. That's what we should be using it for, like helping us out, helping us be more creative, more productive, getting to do the things we enjoy more. And instead the companies are like, what if we just had the robots do the cool creative stuff? It's completely defeating the purpose. I feel like we're going backwards with this shit. It's garbage.
Do you remember Inspirobot?
Oh, I love this video. This was as my friend Undead Potato put it, baby's first YouTube video, where I didn't know any editing. It took a very, very long time to piece this together, and it's not even how I would have wanted to do it. Like, I had to really, really work so fucking hard to just be in a somewhat presentable format. Still not what I wanted it fully to be, but this is another one of those examples where I thought something would be funny and that I just spent the day doing it.
That's when AI was still in its infancy and really stupid and really funny.
Yeah, so this is an AI like we know it now, where you can ask a question and it can just give you a full detailed response and full complete sentences, you know. This was just dumb shit patched together randomly. So it was way funnier. Like you said, this was back when AI was stupid and funny. I couldn't do something like this now.
Why not?
Because AI is smart. You can ask for inspiration and it'll just quote Gandhi. It's not dumb and random like this. I guess you can create bots to kind of piece shit together. Because that's what I want. It's the funny just slapping shit together with duct tape. That's funny.
Before we wrap up here, we have a few viewer-submitted questions.
Oh, no. I hate viewer questions.
Then never mind.
Sorry.
Thank you, Andrew,
Cut
for
that
joining me.
Another one in the bag. Let's go. All right, hit me with some viewer cues. Let's see what we got.
Our first question comes from Discord user Garfy, who simply asks, why?
Because it's cool and funny. I mean, that's it.
That's why.
That's why.
That's
why, baby. That's what it's all about, baby.
Our second question comes from user Alex GPT, who asks, what food preference would make you not want to get to know someone?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Like a food habit that would just that is such a red flag. Ooh. If somebody says all water tastes the same, fuck you. No, it doesn't. That's insane. There's good water, there's bad water, there's tap water, there's like artisan water, there's spring water, mountain water. If you say they all taste the same, you are insane. You are a crazy person. That is not real. I drink like 2 kinds of bottled water. Fuck Dasani. Dasani is shit. That's like ass salt water. Don't drink that. That's garbage. But then like an Aquafina's fine. I have no problem with that. Pure Life water, that shit's crisp and clean. I like that. I don't drink tap water. My cats don't drink tap water.
That bad?
Yeah, I don't trust that shit. If I don't drink it, my cats are not going to drink it.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, a lot of the United States has just really shitty tap water, so I get it. Our final viewer question, also from Alex GPT. If you could pick one game to blow up and be the hot game of the moment, as new or as old as you want, what would you pick?
Stevie, you said it, Alex GPT.
V.
Okay.
Listen, man, ChatGPT has cooked my brain.
You're fried, my brother. Over easy. What is a game that I like and would also not be annoyed that a lot of other people like it? Because, you know, sometimes the whole collectiveness latches onto something, and you ever get that where you just kind of lose a little interest in it, and it's like, oh, okay, now everybody likes it. It's like, you know, whatever. It's a hipster douche thing to do, but like I will admit that does happen. It's not something I think about, but it is something that does happen. If I were to pick something right now, I mentioned it somewhere recently, but Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I want to say it was released like 2019, maybe?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, by Koji Igarashi. I think he was the director, like the head guy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And it's spiritual successor. You know, you've got just a big giant castle and fucky biomes and shit happening and vampires and demons, and you got to figure out what's going on and traverse the world, get new abilities, uncover secrets, fight really cool bosses. And I feel like it's such a good, solid game. And there's been more DLC with outfits and collaborations and new areas. There's a DLC where you fight Koji Igarashi himself. He's just a big guy wearing a cowboy hat. You could just fight him in the game. It's really cool. And it's a really solid game. And I feel like it didn't get the love that it deserves. You know, everybody hails Symphony of the Night as one of the greatest games of all time, which, like, I won't deny. I had played it. I streamed it for my first ever playthrough. And, you know, I really liked it. It's a really good game. And yeah, I feel like it didn't give the love it deserves. So start playing it. It's good. It's constantly on sale because it's old now. And it dropped off super hard. No one gives a shit anymore. And I think that's a crime. It's a really good game. Go play it. That's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you. I was typing this out as you were answering. I was writing, Andrew, please finish up your thought. I have to pee and I don't want to interrupt.
I saw you typing. I thought
I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
Okay, go. Andrew, finish up your thought. I need to pee. Andrew, rush this interview so I can go piss. How ungrateful, how unprofessional. This is the kind of shit we're doing here. You can't empty your balls just to talk with your friend for like 2 hours. Unprofessional. What are we doing here? I love this cat.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, all right, I'm back. So I meant in a way, like, finish up your thought. I'm gonna walk away, but keep on talking.
No, you're okay. It's totally fun. That's so funny. Yeah, you're good. No worries.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back into it. So
yeah.
Before we wrap up here, is there anything else that you maybe wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to touch up on?
I want to touch very, very quickly. I don't know how much I have to say about the topic, but I wanted to touch very quickly on streaming / YouTube / funny man inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Game Grumps were originally what I started on. Loved them. Their silly banter over top the games was just like, oh damn, I could do that too. That was the original like kind of push, the little inspiration initially. Afterwards, like Alpharad was somebody I watched at that time and still do. You know, he used to do all the Smash Bros stuff and that's all he did. And then he got out of it. And now he's doing like, I brought my friends on stage and we all performed Romeo and Juliet without actually knowing the context of the play. And like, he's got that host role now sometimes where he just brings on friends and does a thing. He wears a snazzy suit and like, I love that shit. That's what I want to do. Love that guy. Like, that's the stuff I want to make. And at the risk of being like super corny, love your stuff, Stevie. I do. The stuff you make, I have genuinely thought like, damn, that's really cool. That was really funny and entertaining. How could I do that and not make it seem like I completely stole that idea? Like, how could I take that energy and apply it to something that I do and that I like and something that I can do? You're funny. And then I think you're funny and cool, and that's why we're friends.
I agree. I feel the same way about you.
Hell yeah. No, long con achieved.
That's very kind of you. Thank you, Andrew.
Absolutely. I mean that.
no. Again, I'm very, very glad to have been able to become your friend in the first place. We've worked on some stuff in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we're able to continue working on stuff in the future, so long as it's fun and cool.
That's what it's all about, baby.
I agree. Thank you so much, Andrew, for stopping by for this interview.
Thanks for having me. I've been wanting to be on here since I knew this was a thing. It only took like 3 years, but I did it. I made it.
Yep. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we're friends.
Yeah, friendship wins.
Yeah. But again, thank you so much, Andrew, for hanging out. Thank you to everybody who has watched Andrew and stuck around. Please give him money now.
If you want, I mean, that's cool. We'll leave like 5 minutes of empty air time right now for you to hook up your credit card or debit card to Twitch. You can donate through Bits. You can donate through PayPal. I don't have a coffee, but like maybe I'll make one. Go buy stuff I made. I have a PC on my throne. Go ahead, just buy me that if you want. Take your time. Go pick out something nice for me to have. Buy it for me. Bye-bye.